before we start this episode, I have to say that I completely forgot that I had already recorded the word dichotomy in the previous episode. It took us a while to schedule this, and so it was probably weeks since I had recorded dichotomy. So anyway, you'll get to hear us talk about dichotomy in addition to hearing me talk about dichotomy in the previous episode. On with the show. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to another episode of the dictionary. Every once in a while we have a very special episode. All of the special episodes they have guests on them, and today is no exception. We have yet again, for the second time, and there may even be a third time coming up soon, we have the amazing Karen O'Leary. Karen, what's going on with you these days?
Kia ora, Spencer. Well, look, what's not going on with me? I'm just loving life in New Zealand, and I have been doing a variety of very, very random jobs, and I'm hopefully moving into my childhood dream job. Was always to be a sports presenter / commentator, and I've managed to kind of weasel my way into maybe getting the chance to do that some of the time. So I continue just to say yes to everything, and then find out if I'm actually any good at it or not. And it seems to be working so far.
That's perfect. What sport might this be?
Well, cricket is my number one sport, which I know if you've got lots of American listeners, they'll be like, yeah, we love cricket. It's also one of our national games. Or they'll be like, what is that game? And it's so boring. So cricket's my number one, football as well. And obviously I was very excited when the Black Ferns, the women's rugby team, we recently won the World Cup. So, yeah, and we've got the FIFA Women's World Cup, Football World Cup coming to New Zealand next July. Ooh. So I'm very excited about all of these sporting events.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Are you planning on going to as many events as possible?
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. The way I see it is if I can keep weaseling my way into getting a job, then I don't have to pay for tickets, do I?
Exactly. You just go be a sports commentator for all the games, and it's perfect.
Just like one of those people that roams around the crowd with the microphones, and you just get to talk shit, have a laugh, but still get a free ticket. So I'm going to putting that into the cosmos so that it happens.
I'm going to put it out there too. That is the perfect job for you. I really hope that you get to do that. Let's do some tweeting.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted, but I reckon it's going to happen.
Awesome. Any other fun projects that you're working on?
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to a show that's going to be on New Zealand terrestrial television tonight, which was a tribute to two of our national treasures, our real icons, who are called the Topp Twins. So they're these two lesbian twin sisters who are really amazing country singers, but also very political. They've been activists. I remember growing up. In the 80s, they were really prolific, and it was amazing just in the 80s to have these two lesbian women completely accepted and loved by a lot of small town New Zealand. We normally think they won't understand it, and they probably won't like it. So we did an amazing tribute for them because they're both actually, unfortunately, sick with cancer at the moment. So we did a really fantastic show at the Civic in Auckland. We had all of these fantastic musicians performing, and it was just a magical experience. So I'm looking forward to watching that on the telly tonight. My plan.
That's fantastic. I don't think I will be able to watch it because I am in the US of A.
You do that thing where you steal the TV off the country. Everyone knows how to do that, don't they? Spencer,
You'd think I was smart enough to do that, but I definitely am not.
It's called VPNs, isn't it? VPNs.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't know how to use it.
Oh, that's what my partner does, and she's in the States. She watches all the things of New Zealand. Yeah, but so I'm just doing random stuff, bit of acting, which is hilarious, and just anything really.
Yeah.
And on podcasts like this one. Yeah.
How many podcasts do you do a week?
Oh, not enough. I've been on a movie one, and then this is another thing. I've actually got my own podcast coming out because I got approached by MediaWorks to make my own podcast, and it's got to be called Full Disclosure, and it's about well-known New Zealanders and their stories of coming out and being gay or bisexual in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So I've talked to lots of very interesting people, and hopefully at least 3 people listen to it. It's good.
So it's already out, or is it coming out soon?
Yeah, January 16th.
January 16th. We're going to put it on the calendar. We're going to post about that. And
Yeah.
I have to imagine that you have no shortage of guests for that show.
Well, no, there's heaps of gays in New Zealand. No, it
Yeah.
was just, yeah, but I guess it's one of those things still in 2022. Not everyone feels comfortable talking about that. And I don't think there's
Yeah.
enough opportunity for people just to hear other people's stories so you can know, like, if you're finding things tricky or if you found things really positive, all of those ways of experiencing coming out as gay or bisexual can, they're all appropriate. They can happen to anyone. So, yeah, we spoke to our Deputy Prime Minister, Grant Robertson, who's Jacinda's right-hand man. Spoke to him at the Beehive. That was really cool. And, yeah, a variety of other funny people.
That's fantastic. I love that. And yeah, you're an amazing person to host something like that. Between obviously your knowledge of New Zealand and the gay community, but also just you're just funny and entertaining, and that's a huge part of shows and podcasts and things. So that's going to be a success for sure.
Fingers crossed. I tried to be very serious for the whole time. No, it wasn't. I can't do it.
I was going to say that's not possible for you.
No, it's not.
Right. Well, speaking of being serious, should we talk about some very serious words today?
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
All right. A handful of these are a little bit over my head. We'll see what we have to say. If we don't have a lot to say, that's totally fine, and we're just going to move on. There is one particular word that I have a feeling Karen may have a few things to say about. And so, when we get there, we'll talk about that.
Yes, yeah, and hopefully everyone will know what word that is. I think it'll be pretty obvious, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
if you have not heard Karen's previous episode on this show, I will put a link to it. It's at the end of the C section, the C season, the third season of this show, and it was an amazing time. Okay, the first word in this episode is dichotomy, dichotomy. This is a noun from 1610. We have a number of definitions. Number one, a division into two, especially mutually exclusive or contradictory groups or entities, as in the dichotomy between theory and practice. And then also, there's more to the definition, the process or practice of making such a division, as in dichotomy of the population into two opposed classes. I think there's a lot that we can say. We do have other definitions. Do you have anything to say in the meantime about dichotomy?
Well, yes, I was thinking about the word dichotomy. Obviously, prior to this, I do a lot of research. Actually, I just looked up the words about 20 minutes before now to make sure I kind of knew what they meant. But I think dichotomy is almost as its definition suggests. It can be quite. It can really make people feel quite oppositional and separate and or excluded. So dichotomies are very interesting things, especially if I think about things like gender dichotomy and what that represents, and also it's such a black and white kind of concept. And I think in this current day and age, we need a lot more space for grey. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Throughout my life, I've seen these things that we've got two sides, like you mentioned, gender and, autism, for instance. I mean, that's very specifically called the autism spectrum. So many different things that nothing is black and white. Nothing is one side or the other, black and white, good and evil, any of the positive, negative. There's always a gray zone. So yeah, the word dichotomy in general is a little bit hard in those contexts, I think. But if there are very literally two things, then I guess that's, two things that are opposite from each other.
Well, so we just need to think of a good example of when dichotomy is an appropriate word to use. That's our job now, Spencer. What's that going to be?
That's our job. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should read the other definitions, and then maybe something will pop in our heads for a good example.
I feel that's going to happen for sure.
For sure. Number two, the phase of the moon, or an inferior planet in which half of its disk appears illuminated. So I guess the dichotomy of the moon is one half is lit and the other half is not lit. But even technically there's still little sort of gray zones and the craters and other things.
It's not like a clear line, is it? So again, no, we're not using the moon one. That's out. Let's keep trying.
Number 3A, this synonym is bifurcation, especially repeated bifurcation, as of a plant's stem. So it's splitting a plant stem into two.
That seems like that. Yeah.
I'll accept it.
Yeah.
3b, a system of branching. So this is still related to plants, I think. A system of branching in which the main axis forks repeatedly into two branches. So the plant stem goes up, it splits into two, and each one of those splits into two.
And then again, does it just keep going?
I think it goes for a while. Yeah, probably depends on the plant. I don't know.
Is this purposeful bifurcation? What was that word you said?
Bifurcation.
Oh, I was close with bifurcation.
Super close.
It just happens naturally in plants, or people make it happen on purpose?
I think this is a naturally occurring thing. A system of branching. Yeah, I think it's a naturally occurring thing.
Okay, I'm getting on topic.
Any plants? Any of those plants next to you
I'm just having
are split in two?
Most plants, no, they're all just kind of just growing beautifully and healthily in my house.
They are very green. I love it.
Thank you.
If you listeners want to see what's going on with the plants that we're talking about, you can join the Patreon, where you can see the video of this show.
And not only can you see the green plants, you can also see my face, and that's.
I guess that's important too.
Sold my plants instead of me, though, Spencer. This is outrageous.
Hey, you know the plant lovers. That's what they want to stare at all the time. 3C.
Yep.
Branching of an ancestral line into two equal diverging branches. And I guess, it could be about plants, it could be about humans, it could be about anything. But, if you look back at your ancestors, you always come from two, and then each of them come from two, and each of them come from two, by and large.
Yeah, true. But even now that's becoming, obviously, if I think of my son, he's got me, who is but I'm not biologically connected to him, but I'm still his parent. And then he's got his other mum, Jen, who's now married to a man. So he's there as well. And then I've got my partner. So he's got multiple branch offs,
And, better for him, right? More interesting people to create who he is as an amazing person.
Yeah, except most of them are assholes. No, just joking.
You being the number one asshole, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 4, the last one for dichotomy. This is something with seemingly contradictory qualities, as in the example, which is a quote, "It's a dichotomy, this opulent Ritz-style luxury in a place that fronts on a boat harbor." And I'm feeling like I recorded this already, but I don't think I did. I don't know. Maybe I've seen this example a couple of times. That is a quote from Gene T. Barrett. The dichotomy of living the luxurious life opposed to on a boat harbor. That doesn't really feel luxurious. So that's an example of a dichotomy, I guess.
I guess it would depend on what kind of harbor you're living in.
Very true.
Very true. I feel like harbour people with yachts and that, I think they're all rich as. But are we talking about like your sort of run-of-the-mill boat people who aren't lucky at all? Surely
I think that's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I still think, again, there could be a better example, and we will come up with one day.
Yeah, I was just going to say, did you think of anything? I haven't. I mean, I think, there was the example of class, the dichotomy of class earlier. Which I guess, rich and poor, that's a big dichotomy, but very clearly there's a lot of steps in between rich and poor.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking, what about, is there, even if you think about politically, people that are complete in America, Republicans compared to Democrats, like they fundamentally, especially if you're at the very ends of those, you would be fundamentally opposed, surely, where you'd want to be. But then again, there's still always that movement in the middle, so it's a tricky one.
Right, and also, even if you took two people who thought that they were completely opposed to each other, you might be able to find something that maybe they agree on. So even that is a little hard.
Yeah, so we're just basically cancelling the word dichotomy.
It's gone.
Unless you're talking about my plants, or maybe the moon. Add a push.
The moon, I think, might be the closest thing. The dichotomy, it's a very wishy-washy word. The etymology isn't helpful, but it's all about, splitting a thing in two, basically, or just two things. I don't know if you remember, we do a sound effect here on the show when we're done with a word. What sound effect would you like to do today?
I'm gonna strum a quick chord on my guitar. How about that?
I would love
Can I
it.
do that?
Please.
I'll just quickly grab my guitar then in that case.
She's getting the guitar.
Now, what kind of chord are we thinking will be appropriate? Like it could be a minor chord, it could be a happy, positive major chord. I mean, what are we
How many
thinking?
chords do you know?
All of them, the ones that are easy. I feel like it can just be a chord change. It can just be like something like this, like that.
That
That's
was
power.
perfect. And what I would request is maybe after each word you do a different chord. But what you did was I loved it.
I'll do a different combination each time.
Excellent. The sound effect has already been done. This is one of the best sound effects I think we've had because it's from an actual instrument. The next word is dichroic. It is an adjective from circa 1859, number 1, having the property of dichroism, which we will talk about shortly, as in the example, a dichroic crystal or a dichroic mirror. And then number 2, the synonym is dichromatic, which we will also get to soon. But basically, this is from the Greek dichros, which means two-colored, from di plus chros, which means color or literally skin. So skin or color and having two of those. So that's what dichroic is. Your arm is kind of dichroic because you have not only your own skin pigment, but you have a changed skin pigment, and so do I.
Well, look, there we go. It's black, and then whatever skin color is doesn't really have a color, does it? It's kind of just skin color.
It's just skin, you know.
But
Yeah.
certainly you call it white. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. And all skin tones are in like an orange region. So, yeah.
But with this, we're talking crystals, right?
Well,
Um,
that's one of the examples. Yeah.
well, that's why I'm talking about them because I've remembered that from the example. So it's like a crystal that is actually two colors, or just looks like it's two colors because of how the light refracts off it. This is what I need to know.
You know, I wish I could give you a full answer. I am not entirely sure. We may have to read these other words coming up to get a little bit more information. But I think at the very least, it looks like there's two colors. Maybe it literally has two colors.
Okay, great. So again, a very vague answer and
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
That's what we're going for here. Just vague.
I think as well,
Um,
it's, when you ask these questions, then you know there'll be some people listening that are screaming, knowing exactly what the answer is. And I want those people to feel empowered about their knowledge.
Yeah, all the time I think about there's somebody who knows the answer and they're very pissed at me, or even better, I describe something wrong and I know that they're yelling at me, and then later I realize, oh, I had that wrong. I had that recently. I was like, oh no, what I said was completely wrong. So
Yeah.
I put in the show notes, oh, I screwed up. Please forgive me. I'm only human.
Well, look, every day's a school day. We're always learning, you know?
Every day until the day I die, I'm going to learn. That
Yeah.
guitar, we need that guitar again because we need a strummy strum.
Okay.
Yeah. And don't feel like you have to keep it on your leg the whole time.
Well, no, you just call guitar and I'll get the guitar back up. It's very easy. It's
Perfect.
very maneuverable.
The next word is dichroism. Dichroism. So what we had in the previous word, dichroic, was having the property of dichroism. This word, dichroism, is a noun from 1819, and it is, oh, here we go, the property of some crystals and solutions of absorbing one of two plane polarized components of transmitted light more strongly than the other. Also, the property of exhibiting different colors by reflected or transmitted light. And it says compared to circular dichroism. So was
So
that clear?
I just think I feel like either I read that because that's why I asked that question, but I don't think I did read all of these words. But it makes it seem like I answered a very intelligent question.
You did.
So
Because you're a smart lady.
well, yeah, I'm just I'm good at guessing stuff. Yeah, but I mean, when I heard you say what is it, dichroism?
This word is dichroism. The previous word, the adjective, was dichroic.
Yeah, because I really wanted it to be more about dykes and lesbians. Like I think that then I would have had probably even more to say. Dichroism, like it's like a really heroic lesbian. That would be good.
Oh yeah, I think that should be the new a new graphic novel.
Okay, leave it with me. I'll do it. I can't draw, but I can write.
Yeah, let's do some pre-planning. Would you like to be on the episode for? I believe it is in here. Is it DYKE?
Yeah, it should be.
Yes. If you want, let's pencil you in for the episode that airs on June 2nd, 2023. We can talk about the word dyke.
An expert, and I would consider myself to be one.
That's why you're here, because you're an expert on things.
I'm an expert on dichroism as well. In dichotomy.
I still don't completely understand the crystal thing, but it definitely did say that there was about exhibiting different colors by reflected or transmitted light. So it's not maybe literally the two colors, but it's showing two colors or multiple colors.
Yeah, or even if you think of those, those dingly clear crystals that you get and you hang in the window, and then you get all the rainbow colors because of the sun.
Yeah. Where the light comes in and it diffracts all over the place.
So that can't be dichroism because it's multiple colors. So that's got a whole other definition. And again, someone hopefully at home is screaming out, "It's called this" when you've got one of those crystals. And we want to say thank you to that person.
Thank you. You know who you are. You're listening. You're a smarty pants.
Yeah.
Guitar.
Oh, I thought that's not a D word. This is going to be a bit of a more sad one.
Yeah, that I shed a tear on that guy.
Yeah.
The next word is dichromat or dichromat. This is a noun from circa 1909. It is one affected with dichromatism or dichromatism, which we haven't gotten to yet, but it's anything that has dichromatism is a dichromat. And that's it for that.
Well, I think obviously we need to know about dichromism.
That's totally the word. Dichromatism. We do have a couple until we get to that word, but we do need another guitar sound.
We do, and here it comes now.
Here it comes. And all of your lovely guitar playing is reminding me that I need to tell the people that you have a family-friendly kids band called Fun and Funner.
I do indeed.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, Fun and Funner. We're a band with me and my best friend Tom Watson, who both used to be early childhood teachers for a very long time. He still is. And basically we listened to a lot of music for children, and it was so boring that it made you kind of want to poke your eye out with a compass. So we thought, no, enough. We don't want to listen to this anymore, and we don't think children should have to either. So we made an album of songs that, go across a range of genres, and hopefully just mean that adults can actually listen to it without wanting to, to die. So yeah, that's our plan. And we've actually recently played with the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra and the Orchestra Wellington, full orchestra, did our whole album, and we had to play at the Michael Fowler Centre with a full orchestra. It's like ridiculous. Like proper musicians get asked to do that. Not Karen O'Leary, but Karen O'Leary. And she was there singing along with the orchestra. Happy days.
Though I think that I saw a couple of clips of that, right? You were on stage with yeah, that was amazing. If you have any other links or something, you probably tweeted about it, right? I'll have to share that.
Yeah, I can send you the stuff, But we would actually I'm going over to see Tom today, and we're thinking quickly in the last minute putting out a Christmas album called We Wish You a Smelly Christmas. And it'll just be Christmas songs
please.
All about smelliness and poo, basically. And that's our go-to jam.
Shout out to my favorite song of your album, which is called Better Than Normal, Poo in the Wharapaku. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Wharapaku is the Māori word for toilet, yep. That's right.
Poo in the Wharapaku.
You got a poo in the Wharapaku. Yeah, don't do a poo on your mum. It's like it's a learning song, but it's also a little bit hopefully funny.
It's wonderful, and the tune is simple enough, but like so catchy at the same time. I don't know how you did it, but you nailed it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, there you go. People can listen to that after where they've listened to us talk about the D words that we're talking about.
And people can go to funandfunner.bandcamp.com.
Yes, they can.
Okay, so you did the sound effect for that. So our next word is dichromate. So we've added an E at the end. This is a noun from circa 1864. This is a chemical-y thing. It is a usually orange to red chromium salt containing the anion Cr2O7, and then there is a superscript tiny little 2 with a minus symbol, and I don't know exactly what that means. There is an example, dichromate of potassium, and it is called also bichromate with a B instead of a D. And it's orange to red chromium salt.
I mean, look, obviously it makes complete sense to me, all of what you just said. And
Yeah.
I think the definition kind of says enough. I don't think I need to add. Obviously, I could add lots about what that means, but I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah, you clearly could, but I think what like you said, what's here is plenty for us for our brains. Guitar time. Every single one of these could be the beginning of a new song.
Yes.
The next word is dichromatic. Dichromatic. I get really confused about these words because they're all so similar. Dichromatic. This was the synonym of our second word, dichroic. The number 2 definition, the synonym was dichromatic. So we have finally reached it. It is an adjective from circa 1847. Number 1, having or exhibiting 2 colors. And then number 2, of relating to or exhibiting dichromatism, which we will get to. So it's all about 2 colors. Basically, that's what it is.
And who or what's having those 2 colours, Spencer?
Oh, see, that is...
We're back to plants again. Maybe is it a plant that's got 2 colours, or is it an animal? Is a zebra dichromatic?
I'm going to say yes. Sometimes their eyeballs, their iris, and their color have two colors. Sometimes
Yes.
dogs or cats. So I think that could be dichromatic.
What about
Can you think of any other?
David Bowie's eyeballs?
I don't know if he had 2 colors, but what I heard is that he got hit in the face. One of them was permanently dilated.
Well, I didn't know this. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Well,
that's why his eyes look different.
no, but he did also have one eye was blue and one eye was green, but I know that's got its own name, and I don't know whether dichromatic would come into that definition.
I think you might be right, but personally, I think this dichromatic word fits perfectly for that. His eyeball, David Bowie's eyes were dichromatic.
They were, and yeah, well, great. I think that's a much better definition. They should put that in the dictionary.
Why not? Can you make your own version of this book, please?
Next time I've got like a spare 5,000 years. Yep.
Exactly. You could do Karen's favorite words, and then you can just only do like maybe 10 words.
Oh, I could do. I've probably got at least 100 favorite words. I've got quite a few.
Even better. That's 10 times better.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
Let's see. I think it's time for a guitar sound.
Okay, here it is.
And every single one of these sounds different than the last one. It's excellent.
That's because they're all different.
Is that why?
I'm really utilising my whole repertoire of chords and combinations.
By the time this episode is done, you will have no more chords that you know.
It doesn't matter. I'll just make something up. Yeah. And I'll probably have a whole new song by listening to them. It'll be great.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go with dichromatism. So the dichromat is affected with dichromatism, and this word is a noun from circa 1901. It is partial color blindness in which only 2 colors are perceptible. So there's a whole lot of varieties of people, of types of color blindness. Some people, can't distinguish between green and red. Some people see only in gray tones. There's a whole bunch of them. But this one specifically, only 2 colors are perceptible. Can you imagine only seeing the world in 2 colors?
So is it like if you can only see the world like in black and white photos or before TV had colour?
Yeah, yeah. But in this case, there's at least color, but there's only two colors, which I don't know if that's better or worse than black and
Which
white.
two colours do you get to choose? You don't get to choose. It's just two random colours.
Oh, wouldn't it be great if you could choose your colors?
I mean, what would you choose?
I think I would choose green and purple. What about you?
I'd definitely choose green, and I think I'd probably choose green and brown,
Brown.
which
What's
is
the choice with brown?
I just well, I don't know now, but I think green and brown makes sense to me together as two colours. So if I had to see everything in two colours, I like what
Yeah.
green and brown look like together. You know, I used to dress a lot in green and brown, and my sisters used to always hassle me for looking like a tree. I think it was
It's funny you
fun.
mentioned that because yeah, green is definitely my favorite color, but a lot of like my pants tend to be like on the browner tint, or like some of my shirts are brown, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm just wearing like earth tones. That's like other than black shirts, most of what I wear are like green, a lot of green and brown for sure.
Yeah, but you can still make. We're still cool though, eh? Like it's not like we're just boring and earthy. I feel like it's still actually fashion forward.
I think it makes us extra cool, actually.
Good. I'm just checking on that one.
Yeah. Green and brown. Of course, my brain with our previous conversation, my brain goes to poo. So if you see green and brown, then your poo is still gonna look correct. But in my brain, if I see everything in green and purple, my poo is either gonna look green or purple or both, and
Yeah,
that might be a little weird.
it's alarming. And see that. So I think that again, I chose brown for a good reason because the
I
things that
think you made the right choice.
not that I spend a lot of time looking at my own feces, but maybe you do, and so maybe that is a concern for you, Spencer.
Who doesn't look when you after you're done? You got to take a little peek, right?
What for? No, you
Make
don't.
sure everything came out okay. I don't know.
Oh, I'm learning something new, but no, no, I don't. I just say see you later. Better out than in.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done with you.
Yeah,
You've had your time.
yeah.
Um, let's see. Anything else to say about color blindness, or would you like to play a guitar strum?
I would like to strum the guitar.
That was like a whole song in one right there.
Yeah, I'm just getting more and more excited about the guitar. Sorry, I know it's supposed to be a sound effect, so just tell me, Karen, it can't be that long.
No, I love it when things change and evolve. So what you're doing is exactly what I was looking for.
Great.
The next word is dichroscope. Dichroscope. Noun from 1857. It is an instrument for examining crystals for dichroism. How did they come up again?
Because it's got a lot to do with this dichotomism, all of those
That,
ones. And obviously the
yeah,
crystals are very important to some people, you know?
especially the people who write the dictionary.
Yeah, and people that have got dichromatism.
I think maybe you need to get some crystals now, and you need to study the dichroism of the crystals and see what sort of colors you could see.
I think I will. So I'm going to have to find myself a dichromoscope. And what's it called again?
Yep. Yep. No,
Dichrom-
that yeah. The dichroscope.
Dichroscope, sorry. Yeah, dichroscope. And obviously, I'm sure they'll get one of those just down the road in Wellington. I mean, surely they're a dime a dozen, you know?
Yeah. You could
Maybe
probably also use it to find the hero lesbians.
absolutely. It'll be multi-purpose. Yeah, so I'll put that on my Christmas list, I think. What I want for
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
Okay, dichroscope, crystals, dichroism, that's what that is. It is time for a really, really great guitar sound because the next word is why you're here.
Is it? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
excited, aren't I?
I
But
mean,
I'm
they're really
also,
all why you're here, but
yeah, thank you.
I wanted to do something. Okay, that was great. The next word is
It's a
dick.
suspense. Hang on, just
What's that?
sorry. You can edit this, eh? Can you or not?
Yeah,
Because before we start talking about this, and we'll have to just do that little start bit again, I just really actually could do with going to the toilet. Can I do that?
please. Yes, of
Okay,
course.
I'm sorry.
I will never stop you from that.
I know, but it's just like I never know if you can't edit it or whatever. Then you'd be like, now everyone will be listening to me having this conversation. It'd be funny, but I will be
Well,
back.
we could leave it in if you want. We did this last time. I don't know if you remember.
I
There
know.
was a
So
bathroom break.
I put this. You try to listen to my cars out the window. Yeah.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
I'm going again now, but I will be back.
See you soon.
I'm back. I also got myself, look at this delicious beer that I got left for free.
Oh, wow. Have you had it yet?
I've had it before. Yeah, I love it. It's delicious. Who'd have
Oh,
thought a
interesting.
beer, but it is so yum.
Yeah, I've been seeing things like that around, and I don't remember if I've tried one or not. I'm not a big beer fan, but I am really curious to try something like that.
Well, I'm going to send you a can, and you can try
Oh,
it.
that's great. How pickly is it?
It's not. Hang on, let me just. I haven't had it for ages. Well, it's just kind of because it's a sour beer. So it's good. First of all, you get flooded with that nice sour, but then the aftertaste is definitely gherkin or pickle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's got a nice little vinegary end taste.
Oh, that's so interesting. Are you a sour fan in general?
Yes, I am. But I'm at the moment. I'm very heavily into hazy beer. I'm enjoying the hazies. Do you have those over
Okay.
there in America?
Yeah, I tend to avoid like things that are hoppy. I think hazies tend to be kind of hoppy, right?
Yeah, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They're not.
IPAs, hazies, not a big fan.
Yeah,
Sharon loves sours, and she says hi, by the way.
yeah. I'm waiting for you to pop in at some stage to say hello to me in real
So
life.
I am actually I'm at my office right now, and she's at home. She was a little disappointed that I was going to do this here because I have a better setup to record over here.
Right.
But
Yeah.
next time I'll do it at home, and she can pop in.
Also, can I just ask, is that an actual brick wall?
Yeah,
It's such an
actual brick.
interesting, funny looking corner. It must be the perspective of the camera, but it looks like you're in kind of a triangular corner.
Yeah, the camera is up high. It's like 6 or 8 inches higher than me, so it's looking down, and that's why
Right.
it's sort of angled. Yeah.
Good. Got it. Okay. Right. I'm ready to talk about Dick. Love it.
All right, so I'm gonna pretend that you just did the sound effect.
Right.
That was a perfect guitar strum for this next word, which is dick.
Dick.
Dich. And yes, we are adults here. We like to talk about normal words in a very mature fashion. This word is a noun from 1553. There's only 3 short definitions. Number 1 is chiefly British, and the synonyms are fellow and chap. Do you over in New Zealand? Is this the context that you're used to?
No, not really. I think it'd be more your old-fashioned English. Obviously, my parents are from England, but I think it's probably going to be more of the second two definitions that we get. Also, can I just quickly add though, Spencer? I'm pretty sure when you spelt the word dick, you spelt DICH. And
Did I really?
I think so, and I'm pretty sure it's got a K on the end of it. So I'm just helping you out there. I mean, I would have thought you of all people would know how to spell the word dick, but apparently you're too much of a dick. So yeah.
I think I was so caught up in the previous words that are all DICH that my brain did a funny little thing, and I'm very grateful that you called me out on that. Otherwise, I would have heard this later and realized my mistake, and I think I make those constantly. So DICK is how this word is spelled. Number 2, this is usually vulgar, and the synonym is penis. I mean, I think we all know that. I think most people probably prefer to use that word than penis. There's a lot of words for this thing.
Yeah.
Do you have a, do you have any thoughts about this word in this context?
This reminded me of when we did the C word that
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking about very much. And I think just the way that the word sounds and comes out of your mouth with those hard beginning, hard end, I think it just makes it enjoyable to say. Dick is just, it's a powerful, good word. It's short and sweet, but yes, it doesn't have like like penis. It just sounds kind of yuck, same as
Sounds
vagina.
floppy.
Vagina just sounds like gross, but if you say cunt or dick, it's like, I like it. I mean, I like cunt more than I like dick, but hey,
But if you're gonna say a word, you're right. It is a very good word to say. It's
yeah,
very satisfying. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's interesting that the word can be utilized in so many different contexts.
Yeah, I was going to say we have one more definition, so maybe I'll read that real quick and then we'll talk about some of these other
Do it.
contexts. Number 3, the synonym is detective. So somehow it just got shortened to dick, like a private dick is what people say a lot. Um,
Do you want to meet my
yes,
private?
it's very private and it's satisfying to say, and it's hard at the beginning and hard at the end.
Yeah, yeah. I thought
What other
I thought that one of the definitions was going to be or is that it's a shortened version of the name Richard.
You'd think that would be in here, but I feel like when it comes to names, the dictionary doesn't really deal with those. The only time I see names come up are if they're like Greek gods or goddesses or somebody
Yeah,
related to something more ancient like that.
yeah.
So yeah, it's not in here. But yes, Richard, it definitely gets shortened to Dick. Actually, when I was in junior high, there was a substitute teacher in my city whose name, I don't know if I'll say it anyway. His name was Richard Seaman.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm pretty sure the last name was spelled differently, but yes, it was kind of silly to all of us junior high kids who said Dick Seaman.
Yeah, but what were his parents thinking? They obviously were not thinking at all.
I I think that they were of such an old generation
Yeah,
that it just wasn't even a part of their thought process. It
yeah,
was Richard. Yeah.
yeah. And admittedly, I mean, how on earth Richard gets shortened to Dick? It's like when, what is the other ones? The other weird ones, like William becomes Bob.
Bill,
No, Robert
Bob.
becomes.
Yeah.
Which one becomes Bob?
Yeah. Robert becomes
Robert.
Bob.
Yeah,
William becomes Bill.
yeah,
But
Bill.
then like Margaret becomes Peggy.
Does it? So look, these don't make
Yeah.
any sense.
No.
I mean, I'd say that's just a big dick move on whoever came up with that idea.
They were trolling us all from all those years ago.
Yeah,
Does Karen get shortened to or changed to anything? Do people call you a nickname?
I get called Kazza a bit, which is kind of your kind of typical lesbian sounding nickname. I sometimes get called Kazza Lazar was my surname.
Ah,
I think obviously at the moment it's just my name is so hilarious because of all that Karen stuff about being a Karen. So it's almost like it's become a noun now as well as like yeah. So and it's a way of being. So I think yeah, my name has been dragged through the mud, and I think that's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
and I love your last name. I think did you even use this somewhere? Karen O Hilarious or Karen
Oh, that's my
Hilarious?
email is Karen at o'learious.co.nz. I came out with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good one.
Although I recently was on a just quickly, I was on a crazy reality TV show that they asked me to be on called Celebrity Treasure Island, which is funny in the first instance because it's New Zealand. We don't even really have any celebrities, but you had to go on this stupid this desert island and do like these challenges and stuff. And at one point, when people were being mean, I actually got a bit upset and I did cry on the TV. And so after that, I got interviewed by this reporter, and she was like, "Oh God, we're going to change the name to Karen O'Terry." So that's also now one of the
Oh,
nicknames is Karen O'Terry. But I think showing vulnerability is a sign of strength, maybe.
it absolutely is. I
Yeah.
think everybody should cry more, me included.
Okay. Well, yeah.
How did
Look.
that TV show go, by the way?
Oh, it was hilarious, and what a interesting experience. Like reality TV is not really my cup of tea. I just think, generally speaking, it's a sad reminder of the problems we have in society. But I just thought, well, you know what, Karen, you can't knock something until you've tried it. And if I could go on there and be on, again, it's like so many people watch it, like people that would never watch Wellington Paranormal but would watch crazy, stupid reality TV. So if I can go on there and be a visible member of the rainbow community, if I can stand up for what I believe in terms of my feminist ideals and calling men out on their bullshit, and I can hopefully have a laugh, then I feel like I've got an obligation. And that was kind of my strategy.
Yeah. Did you get to succeed in all of those goals?
I did, yes, I got one of the male competitors on the show who is a very well known New Zealander, got so mad at me calling out his bullshit that he called me a bitch on TV. So I felt I took that as a win,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, and I made it way further in the competition than him. So in your face, Mike.
Have all the episodes aired by now?
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't win, but I left when I actually eliminated myself from the show and
Oh,
gave my spot to another woman because I really wanted a woman to win, and I knew for a fact I couldn't be bothered running on sand. I can't even run, and I hate sand. So I was like, this doesn't make sense. If she's going home, I don't know. You can stay. I'll see you later. I'm going for a beer.
that's great of you. Do you know how? Oh, yeah, you know the end. So, did
Yeah,
she win? How did it go?
came second,
She
and
came second.
yeah, so which is great, and and also really good that a white privileged man won because that's we don't upset the status quo. So yeah,
Right. It's our
yeah.
time, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you guys have been having a rough time lately. People calling you out for
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, just leave us alone. We just want to be able to do all the stuff we've done our whole lives.
And control the whole world.
Yeah.
Is that so much to ask?
Well, I remember last time talking to you and knowing that you were, obviously not typical of that type of white man, and I find that very refreshing and important.
Well, thank you. This perfectly ties into this word that we're talking about, dicks.
Yeah.
Dicks running the show, running everything. Any other contexts that you can think of where this word might be
It
used?
was, because obviously, most of the time you'd say, "Oh, you're such a dick," and it is obviously an insult. But then I was thinking about men also, and correct me if I'm wrong, use it as quite a sort of powerful kind of sex word as well, like suck my dick and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not quite sure where I'm
And
going with this, but
yeah,
where do you think I should go with it?
well, yeah, I think I can add on perfectly. What you said there was, I think, yes, it can be used in those, and always is used in that sexual context, but I think it's also used there because, again, like to your point earlier, saying a different word just sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to say, suck on my penis? No, that just sounds weird. Suck on my dick sounds way more interesting, I guess. I don't know.
Especially if you add a please at the end of it. I think, so use the P for the please, not for the
Yeah,
penis. That's what I'm saying.
exactly.
Yeah. Suck my dick,
Please
please.
and thank you would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
great too.
yeah, I think so. Well, actually, yeah. Anyway, no, we digress now, and now I'm thinking about sucking penises.
Now we don't want to do that. Not at
Oh,
least you and I.
if it tickles your fancy, you can. But we're not going to, if you want to think about that, then do. But just remember to say please and thank you.
Very important throughout the whole life. Yeah, and I am actually a little surprised that sort of slang usage, like you said, you calling somebody a dick, like an asshole. That's not in here, and I'm not entirely sure why.
Yeah, well, because I think as well, like dick it's more of a friendly insult. Like sometimes it's like, oh, you're such a dick. Like you can actually say it with kind of, it's almost as a term of endearment. Like
Yeah,
where asshole is always, I don't like what you're doing. But I think sometimes you can be a lovable dick. Do you know what I mean?
totally. Yeah, it is very versatile in that way. Just like well, the word that you were on previously,
Yes.
that can be used in a variety of ways.
Yeah, it can be very negative, but it also can be really positive. You're a good cunt. You're a good cunt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are a good cunt. I'm a good dick.
absolutely. Yeah.
Is it time for a guitar sound?
Yes.
Yeah. The next word is, you can pronounce this either Dickcissel or Dickcissel. You can emphasize either the first or the second syllables. It is spelled Dickcissel, noun from 1886. This is a common migratory black-throated finch of the central U.S., and the species name is Spiza americana, and it is of the family Cardinalidae. Cardinalidae. That's like a cardinal. I have never heard of this Dickcissel bird, but I am not a birder myself, so I think on social media I will have to post a picture of a Dickcissel.
Oh, and I just think what a great name, Dictionary. It kind of sounds like, I don't know if you have. I don't think you. What do you call ice blocks in America?
Ice blocks? Like,
You
you talk.
those, like a thing on a stick that's frozen in its juice, and you lick it and eat it. What are they called?
Well, there's popsicles
What
or
do you do?
lollipops.
Oh, you're great. Your popsicles. We have popsicles in New Zealand, and Dixicle just makes me think of like a dick lollipop. I mean, ice block. Ice block. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very close to that for sure. Popsicle,
Yeah.
Dickcissel, this I can't even say the word anymore. Yeah, I've never heard of this bird, but there's a lot. There's a lot of bird names that are kind of weird like this. I don't know 'em.
Well, I think because how many species of bird are there?
Well, there's like
Eight.
five, I think.
5 different birds in the world.
Maybe more, maybe
Yeah, I
20.
think 1,000.
1,000? Okay, that's probably a good guess. Could be even 10,000. I don't know.
Well, someone will know. Again, someone's screaming and saying there are so many bird types, but yes. We're not talking about
There's
birds, we're talking about dicticissels. Oh, they are
dicticissels.
bats. We
It's just one kind of bird.
are talking about birds.
I'm curious what this black-throated finch looks like. I think might be time for another guitar sound.
Okay.
The next word is Dickens. This is a noun from 1598. It is a euphemism, and the synonyms are devil and deuce. And it doesn't give me any more than that. Like, it doesn't give me an example. So it's you like explain. You're proclaiming. You're exclaiming.
I use Dickens all the time in my text messaging and in my general everyday conversation. I actually do. I say, "What the Dickens is going on?" And that's very common for me.
Yeah. Do you think that it's more of a sort of British Commonwealth language thing than American?
I would presume so. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
obviously, like everyone here, if I say, "What the Dickens are you doing?" They'd know, and it's just like it's a funny way to say, "What the hell?" Basically.
Right. Or
And
what the
maybe
devil?
what the devil's going on here? And what
Yeah.
the Dickens? It just sounds quite. Again, I like the way the word sounds and feels when you say it. Yeah.
It feels so good to say Dickens. We definitely do have this in America, in American English. Maybe not as much, but yeah, I mean, if you were to say to somebody in America, what the Dickens, they would understand what you're saying. But yeah, it's not, I don't think it's quite as common.
Yeah, they might think you maybe you're a bit old fashioned and weird. Is that maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Which is true, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Well, when I come over to the States in March, I'm going to say it all the time, and I can't.
All the time.
Yeah.
You're gonna affect American English. It's gonna just spread
Yeah.
like wildfire.
What the Dickens do you call this meal? And I'm not paying for that. And what the Dickens do you mean? I've got to give you a tip. We don't do that in New Zealand.
Are you a dichromat?
Yeah.
It's guitar sound, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that was that went somewhere emotionally for sure.
Yeah.
The next word is the first form of dicker, noun from the 14th century. This is the number or quantity of 10, especially of hides or skins. So I guess if you have 10 hides or skins, that is a dicker. This is from the Latin decuria, which means quantity of 10, from decem, which means 10, and there's more at the word 10. So it's a little bit of a stretch, I guess, but yeah, 10 things is a dicker.
Well, but it's only 10 hides? 10 hides or skins?
It is very specifically talking about hides or skins, but I'm proclaiming that you can just use it for any 10 things.
Okay, you're proclaiming that. I feel like you're just completely making it up. But I'm going to use that, and if people look at me like, Karen, you're not even talking about skins or hides. I'll be like, doesn't matter, because Spencer told me I can still say dicker. You dick.
Exactly.
What the dickens are you on about?
Make up, proclaim, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're great. Love it.
What the dickens is this dicker of hides?
Yeah.
We actually need another guitar sound. Oh yeah, they're getting longer and more expressive, more yeah.
It's just as I'm really warming into this conversation.
You got to lean into it. The second form of dicker, this as an intransitive verb from 1797. The synonym is the word bargain, as in the example, dickered over the price. It's like haggling.
Yeah. Great. I like
Have
dickhead better.
you say that again?
I like dickhead better than haggled. I think dickhead sounds funny and great.
Yeah, I've never heard of this dicker over the price. This is new to me. Have you heard this in this context before?
No, I've never heard it, and that's why I'm so excited because now I can use it.
Yeah, if next time you go to the store, you see if you can dicker over the price of something. I was trying to think of an example.
Definitely dick. Although also love the fact that you call shops stores. That always makes me laugh and chuckle.
I was gonna say shop, and then in my brain I was like, well, that sounds very British, New Zealand, whatever. And I was like, well, that makes more sense to her brain, but it doesn't make sense to my brain, so I just said store.
But it's okay because now we've got to talk about stores and shops, and it's great. Next time I go to the shop, I'm going to do a good job of dickering.
Yeah, shop dickering, and you definitely got to get Dickens in there somehow too. What the Dickens is the price of this
Yeah.
Dickcissel? I need to dicker the price.
Yeah. I will. It's going to be great, and the person in the shop will probably kick me out, but that'll be funny. And then maybe I'll video it and I'll send it to you to add to this.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, great.
It's time for another guitar sound. They're coming quick.
Be quick, rapid fire. Um,
The next word is the third form of dicker. Who knew there were so many forms? It is a noun from 1797 again. Oh, this is very similar. Okay, so the last one was the verb. This is the noun. Number one, the synonym is barter. So you're dickering over a dicker. Number two, an act or session of bargaining. So the whole action is a dicker, and you are dickering in a dicker.
Absolutely. And who doesn't want to dicker and do some dickering with a dicker?
That's what I thought.
And like you said, then you're going to end up getting a really good price to purchase your 10 hides and skins.
Oh, yes. The more dickering you do, you can get a good price for your dicker.
You could end up with dickers, which is 100 skins and hides for the price of only 93.
That's like as many birds as there are in the world.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all making sense now.
If this makes more sense to somebody by the time we're done, I might be worried for them because I think we're really confusing things. But that's fine. That's what this show's all about, to confuse people.
Yes, great. I'm confused.
It's guitar time.
Yeah. I'm really running out of chord combinations, but I'm just going to keep going,
You would never know that you were running out of combinations. I didn't know. The next word is dicky, spelled Dickey, or you can take out the E, or you can spell it with an IE at the end. So many ways. It is, it's a noun from 1807. Number one, any of various articles of clothing. That's the main topic as a man's separate or detachable shirt front. So if there's just a little shirt front that all by itself and you can detach it, that's a dicky.
Yep.
When B, still in the men's article of clothing. I think, did it say men's? No, just articles of clothing. 1B, a small fabric insert worn to fill in the neckline. So if down here, if the shirt comes too low, but you want some extra fabric there, just throw a little fabric down there in this thing, and that's a dicky.
But we still haven't got up to dicky bow yet. Is that right?
Dicky bow?
A dicky bow, yeah. Because that's right.
No, we haven't.
Is that even in there? Because that's what I would have
know.
thought. Okay, well, let's carry on. Let's find out.
Let's find out. I think I first heard this word in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where Cousin Eddie is wearing a dicky, and somebody had said it, and I was like, I don't even know what that thing is. It's like a turtleneck, but it just goes down a little bit. All right, well, now I'm curious about this dicky bow. Let's see what we got. Number two, here's chiefly British, so maybe this will be it. 2A, The driver's seat in a carriage is a dicky.
Okay, no, that's still not a dicky bow, is it?
Nope, no, it's not. 2B, this is the last one, a seat at the back of a carriage or automobile. So wait, the driver's seat or the seat in the back is a dicky. So anybody sitting in a carriage or automobile is in the dicky seat.
Yeah.
And it's still not a dicky bow.
No, well, now I'm questioning my own knowledge of dicky bow. Look, that's just like a dicky bow. It's like a bow tie thing, and it must be because it goes around your neck, so it'll just be a piece of fabric that's like a dicky, but then they've turned it into a dicky bow.
Well, what you said makes perfect sense to me, because yeah, if you're gonna put it in there, this says it's slang. Let's see, we have a few things. Dicky bow in British English, it's just a bow tie.
Yeah, it's a bow tie, dicky bow. Yeah.
And yeah, I wonder why that's not in here. It is technically British English slang. It says that it evolved from Cockney rhyming slang. The word dicky is rhyming slang for shirt from dicky dirt, which is shirt. And then and then the bow tie looks like a bow on a shirt, and this is how the expression of dicky bow came about.
Oh, that's like the Cockney rhyming slang for cunt or whatever, or the word Burke, which we used to use affectionately as like an insult. Yeah, you're such a Burke. Actually means cunt. And I only found that out recently. My dad used to call us that all the time. It's appalling, Dad. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But the other going back to dicky, do you ever use dicky in the context of, I've got a bit of a dicky knee?
No, that sounds very British to my ears. So what? Like it's like a bum knee? Like it's not working so well?
Yes, bang. Yeah, I've got a dicky knee, or I've got a dicky. Yeah.
I think I need to use this every day now.
Yeah. Or you can yeah.
I do kind of have a dicky knee. Like if I run like a little too far, like
Yes.
2 miles, my knee was like, no, I think we're done.
Yeah, well, it's because it's dicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This knee is very dicky.
Yeah.
Do you have a dicky knee?
No, I don't have a dicky knee. I've got a dicky. I've got dicky feet actually. My feet are kind of weird and a bit munted, but that's just. But I've learned to live with it. So yeah, they're not. They're more just like.
It's
weird.
just your feet.
Yeah. And who's got? I mean, no, I've never met someone with beautiful feet before ever. So.
Yeah, it's hard to find beautiful feet. No, I haven't.
Yeah, it'll be like finding a beautiful dick.
You know what? I think you're right.
Yeah.
The etymology for dicky is from dicky with no E, D-I-C-K-Y, which is the nickname for Richard. So that's where it comes from, but it really doesn't give any more information other than that. So that's really not helpful. Maybe a man named Richard was wearing the fabric under his shirt.
Must be, and that's where it came from. But I remember what I was just going to say when I went to primary school. One of I think my second teacher, his name was Mr. Dickey, and that, like when you're at junior high, whatever it was, made a lot of us laugh a lot of the time.
Mr. Dickey, yeah. How could that not make you laugh when you're 13 years old?
Yeah.
There's nothing else, and we got no dicky bows here, so we are going to move on to guitar sound.
Okay.
And you may want to keep it on your knee.
Okay, I will.
Oh yeah, that one left me hanging. I want to know where that ends.
Yeah.
The next word is dicky bird. 2 words. Noun from 1781, and it just means a small bird. It's a bird that's very little. It's a dicky bird.
But do you know the rhyme?
No, what's the rhyme?
I'm quickly gonna show you this. You obviously can edit it out, but it's worth its weight in gold. I'm gonna show it to you. So people that are listening, you won't be able to see this, and you should be watching it because this is going to change your lives. And it's something that my mum used to do for me. Okay, here we go. Ready? So
I'm
these
ready.
are two dicky birds, right? And this is their wall. 2 little dicky birds sitting on a wall. One named Peter, one named Paul. Fly away, Peter. Fly away, Paul. Come back, Peter. Come back, Paul. Magic. You see that?
How did you do that?
Because it's magic. This is the whole thing.
I have never heard this before. That's awesome. Do you know where this came from?
Again, I think it's English. Yeah, but I remember my mum used
Yeah.
to say it to us when we were little. So two little dicky birds sitting on a wall, one named Peter, one named Paul. It's just a family rhyme. Yeah.
Um, and they're just little. That's all it is. They're just small little birds.
Yep.
She was using her fingers, and then, well, to if you want to see what happens with these fingers, you have to join the Patreon so you can see what's going on.
It's worth looking
And,
at because it's magical.
that was wonderful. The video here is a little chunky while we're recording, so when it's done, I'm gonna take a closer look when we're all done here, and I get to see the high definition video.
Perfect.
Guitar sound. The next word is, oh, I think you're going to love this. It is dickhead. It's just one word. It is a noun from 1964. It is usually vulgar, and it is a stupid or contemptible person. And the etymology says it is from dick, which means penis plus head. So somebody's acting like a dick.
Yeah, they're a total dickhead. Yeah. But I want to know, this is what I was wondering about the word dickhead, has the head been added to the dick because that is a part of a dick? Do we think?
Well, okay, so it's kind of similar to calling somebody like a blockhead, maybe. A blockhead is kind of like a stupid person.
Yeah, but then
you're
that's
right.
kind of like, it's funny that the word head, which can also be used as part of a penis, has been attached to dick for dickhead. I think like blockhead makes you think your head is made of a block and it's just filled with nothing because you're stupid. But dickhead, it's just kind of secretly still a bit sexual, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if the word dick is going to be there, it can't not be sexual in some way. Yeah, it's a good point. It does mean like you're acting like the head of a dick, or your brains are in the head of a dick, or there's so many possibilities.
Yeah, I was like, why didn't they just choose to call it dickfoot?
Wait, sorry, say that again. Dickfoot?
Yeah, but why not just say, you're such a dick foot? Because of course they chose head.
Yeah, there's a reason for head in there. Yeah, dickfoot. Now that would be an interesting word to call somebody. And maybe we need to come up with what is that? Something different.
Yeah, okay.
Dickhead.
Well, yeah. You're such a dickfoot. It's like I think if you're a dickfoot, you're kind of completely behind the eight ball.
I think it's the opposite of Bigfoot. Bigfoot has really big feet. I think if you're being a dickfoot, you have small feet, which a lot of people take to mean that they have a small penis, which a lot of people then are like, that's a mean remark to them.
Yeah, and which is ridiculous. But yes, I think
right, exactly.
Nail on the head. Put the nail on the dickhead there.
on the dickhead. And I also, I love the way that you say this word with your New Zealand accent. Obviously, it's normal for you, but to me, it's just so it's illustrious. I love it.
Thank you. I also notice when I say dickhead, I never say the H, and that's my English. Like that's the English side of me. Just dickhead, which is basically would be DICKED. But
yeah, pretty much.
Dickhead.
Which of course we would say dicked, but yeah, dickhead.
Yeah, that was good.
I try.
Yeah.
It is time for another guitar strum.
None of those chords made any sense together. It was hilarious. I love it.
That's how the best songs are made.
Yeah, that's right.
The next word is dick test, 2 words, and dick has a capital D. I don't think the word dick has been said so many times in like an hour. This is a noun from 1925. I may have just said that. It is a test to determine susceptibility or immunity to scarlet fever by an injection of scarlet fever toxin. And this is from George F. Dick and Gladys H. Dick. I don't know if they were siblings or married, but they must have maybe designed this test, this medical test, almost 100 years ago, and it became the Dick test. But good thing scarlet fever isn't really a thing these days, because I think if somebody said you have to go get a Dick test, I think a lot of people would be freaked out by that.
Absolutely, because when you first was talking about it, I was like, what, did they have to get something, like, what did you say? They got injected with scarlet fever into their dick. That seems horrible.
Right,
But
right.
it wasn't the case.
And it could be so many things. Are you going to inject something into the dick, or are you going to put a bunch of dicks by me and see how I react?
Exactly, yeah. We're going to have an allergic reaction, or, yeah.
So the Dick test, yeah. Maybe we'll put a link in the show notes if you want to learn more about scarlet fever and to see if you had it or if you were immune to it. Okay, guitar strum time. Every single one of these is a beginning to a song. Maybe your Christmas songs.
Absolutely.
The next word is diclinus. Diclinous. Diclinus. Adjective from 1828. It is having the stamens and pistils in separate flowers. So it's a flower thing.
Yeah.
And I just remembered the reason that when we were reading the word dichotomy, the very first word,
Yes.
and I said, this example sounds familiar, that is because I actually did record all of the word dichotomy in the previous episode, and it's been weeks since I recorded that, so I totally forgot. So I guess that people are just going to get that whole section twice, and that's fine.
Yeah, well, they'll have two slightly different versions of it. They'll have a dichotomy of definitions of a dichotomy.
Yeah, they'll get my version, which is
Yeah.
lame and boring and short, and then they'll get your version, which is much more interesting.
Our version, yeah. No.
Our version, yeah. We have one more word, one more guitar strum, please.
Okay.
The last word is dicot. D-I-C-O-T, noun from 1877, and the synonym is dicotyledon, which is actually the first word in the next episode. So if you want to learn about a dicot, you gotta go listen to the next episode.
I'll be there.
What's that?
I said I'll be there.
You'll be there, yes. I wish you could be there on every episode. So it is time now that we finished all the words. I'm going to reread them quickly, and then you get to pick a word of the episode. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dichotomy, dichroic, dichroism, dichromat, dichromate, dichromatic, dichromatism, dichroscope, dick, Dickcissel, Dickens, Dicker, Dicky, Dickey Bird, Dickhead, I almost said Dickhead, Dickhead, Dick Test, Diclinus, and Dicot.
I know how I'm supposed to choose one word because that was the funniest list I've ever listened to in my life. It was genius. I've got a soft spot for dichroism, but then I think you can't go past dick, and I also really love the fact that you liked how I said dickhead, so I'm going to go with dickhead.
Yeah, it's excellent, perfect. The word of the episode is dickhead.
Yep, that's right.
Would you like to sing a song about dickhead?
Yep. Here it goes. So it goes like this. I'm going to sing it to the tune of one of my other songs. No, I can't now. Hang on. Don't be a dickhead. Don't be a dickhead. Don't be a dickhead today. Oopsie, hang on. I've got the chords wrong. That was going to be good though. Don't be a dickhead. Don't be a dickhead. I think that'll make me want to tell you to go fucking away. Keep your dick in your pants. Oh no, look, this is getting too weird.
No, I loved it, but that's fine. If you want to end it there, that's fine. This has potential, is what I'm saying.
I think it does, because there's a lot about it, like Yes, the thought of dick, sometimes it makes me sick. But if you like it, then that's okay. But I guess the problem with me and the reason I don't like dick, well, it's pretty much because I am gay. But if you like dicks, that's good too. And if you like dicks, well, good for you. But just the last thing you want to be is a dickhead to me. Here you go.
My face hurts from smiling so hard on that. That was just glorious. Oh my God. My guests have been bringing it. They've been bringing it the last few months. So good. And you are no exception to the rule. You have not been a dickhead today.
Thank you, Spencer.
And I really, really hope that song gets added to the next album.
Well, it can be my adults album. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So those were all the words. That was the dickhead is the word of the episode. That was the song. What would you like to tell the people about what's going on in your life? If anything.
Just Christmas is coming up soon, so that's going to be happening in my life. And I'm just going to keep, like I said at the start, I'm just going to keep trying to do any random thing and watch lots of sport, become a sports commentator, do a bit more acting, and maybe I feel like I should come over to America and become famous in America. That's my plan for next year. Leave it with me.
Well, I think that process has already started because Wellington Paranormal just exploded here in the States. I have been telling so many people to watch it, and it's fantastic and it's wonderful. And we're sad that we're not going to get more of that, but we are very happy that What's that?
So you never know.
You never know. Oh, okay. I'll keep that under wraps.
Well, no, you never know. All I'm saying
you never
is,
know.
You never know, and there's always rumors flying around.
But we are also very, very happy that you are doing a whole range of other things. It just gives us more ways to follow you, watch you be your amazing self. I'm sad that I wasn't able to watch that celebrity reality show.
Would have cracked you up, honestly, Spencer. It was hilarious.
Oh man, if I'll see if I can find some clips because watching you in action in that situation just sounds like just chef's kiss.
I'll see if I can find some for you. How about that?
Excellent.
All
well,
right,
thank you to Karen. Thank you to Karen O'Leary for being on this show. I will put all of her links and things in the show notes if you want to go find her on Twitter and say some nice things, and Instagram and all those things. Thank you.
You can just call me a dickhead if you want.
Yeah, if you're gonna call her a dickhead, just do it in the nicest way possible, not the mean way.
Yeah, that's
maybe
right.
Maybe we should turn dickhead into a nice word.
Yeah, I think it's used to about me. It can only be nice, surely.
It's the only option.
Yeah.
Or a dick foot.
Yeah, no, dick foot, yeah.
That is going to be the end of the episode. You should also, come back later in the D's, and Karen may come back once or twice for some other fun words.
I would love to. Can't wait.
Excellent. We look forward to seeing you in 2023. If you want to see the video of this recording, go to Patreon. I think you got to do the $5 a month because it's worth it to look at the plants and look at her bright orange sweatshirt and her beautiful face and also her guitar and the pickle beer.
Yeah, it's only $5. Come on. You'd be crazy. You don't need a dicker about that.
No, you don't. Don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's the end of the episode. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer and Karen dispensing information. Goodbye.
Goodbye.